What is going on, everybody? Shout out to everybody watching Epic TV Worldwide on YouTube. Shout out to my man Philosophy. Right now, he's taking care of some stuff. You know, he's always busy. We got SUAVE Collione coming on today. It's going to be a really dope interview. I think what we're going to do is we're going to set the tone. We're going to jump into one of his videos. And then we're going to bring the brother out here. I'm Sport Brooklyn. Thank you for having us today and spending your time with us on Epic TV Worldwide by way of Miss Jackson Media Group. And we're going to get on with the show. So right now, you're going to go into SUAVE Collione. And then we're going to bring the brother out. Let's check this out. And please feel free to share this right now. Please, I want to stress that. If you want rocking with us right now, please feel free to share this to your people. This will be a really nice interview. We're going to go in a lot of different directions, so you might want to do that. So here it goes right now. SUAVE Collione with Sitcom Love.
My baby.
My baby.
Right now, let's get it on.
That I let you kiss me for the first time.
What you mean you let me? You begged me.
Shit. Baby, we got that sitcom love. We got it. We got that sitcom love.
It's the Chronicles of the Vibe. Piranha and POF before you settle down. Best decision never, make no mistakes. Just when it's size, you settle down. And it's ups and downs. Always like the nation economics. Martin and Gina just made it look easy. On the 90s comics, 30 minutes or less is a frustration with light atomics. Letters dissolve themselves like the trending topics. Instead of family feuds, it's all by the service says like Steve Harvey. I question the optics. Now I'm seeking resolution after the commercial breaks. And happiness negotiates its term like the markets and interest rates, real estate. She would often say, you only want what you want. My reply, babe, don't we all? So what's your point? Oh, we got sitcom love.
Made it look easy. We moving
Sitcom love.
around like Georgia Weezy.
Got sitcom love, baby.
A match from above. Me and you, we got that sitcom love. Carl and Harriet stay together. James and Flo handle the stormy weather. Me and you, you're the hands in my glove. Baby, me and you, we got that sitcom love. Yeah, yeah. We got that sitcom love. Yeah, yeah, we got that sitcom love. We got it, we got it,
Yeah.
we got it, we got that sitcom
Hey,
love.
what we have is that TV love, like Lucy and Ricky Ricardo. I was once a promiscuous boy like Nelly Furtado. A man willing to endure the hardships of the day for the promise of tomorrow. Almost a decade from the altar. Something old, something new, something borrowed. On my days as weak as free will under pressure. She's my sitcom love like Fran Drescher. Just my last name is how you must address her. Question, can't you see that I'm mad about you? Like Paul Reiser, I'm a night guy, she's an early riser. Her makeup the finest chocolate complex like a diver's. Growing pain like deceivers, but the burst worth the complications. Started just friends like Jennifer Anderson. Quickies on lunch breaks on Duran and Habishin. Fell for the pretty neighbor like Sinclair and Overton.
Martin and
Sitcom
Gina
love.
made it look
Yeah.
easy. We're moving on up like Georgia Weezy.
We got sitcom love.
A match from above.
Yeah.
Me and you, we got that sitcom
Can't you
love.
see?
Carl and
Yo.
Harriet stay together.
Small cap,
James
yo.
and Flo handle the stormy
My God,
weather.
Ellie
Me
Shaw.
and you, you're the hands in my
Real
glove.
music.
Baby, me and
Tracy,
you, we
I wrote
got
this
that
shit.
sitcom love. Made it look easy. We're moving on up like Georgia Weezy. Cliff and Claire, a match from above. Me and you, we got that sitcom love. Carl and Harriet stay together. James and Flo handle the stormy weather. Me and you, you're the hands in my glove. Baby, me and you, we got that sitcom love. Yeah, yeah. We got that sitcom love. Hey, yeah, we got that sitcom love. We got it, we got it, we got it. We got that sitcom love.
What's going on, everybody? That was Suave Coleon with Sitcom Love. Without any further ado, you got to see the visuals. Now we're gonna sit down and chop it up with this young man. Let's bring on Suave Coleon, my brother.
Yo.
How you doing? How you doing? We just got to watch Sitcom Love. I love the visuals. I love the concept. I even seen in the video some of the movements of stuff that played from other things. I don't know how deep people looked into the video, but I looked into the video.
We put a little thought into it, man. We wanted to feel like what it's supposed to feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Correct. And as a visualizer and a creative, I could respect that to the fullest. So thank you for that. Before we even get deeper into you, I want to just ask what inspired that song Sitcom Love, and then we're gonna dive in with you.
Absolutely. So look, when I was coming up, I was one of those kids that had like great parents. Like I had a great mother, great father, but honestly, it wasn't the type of marriage that I knew I wanted to have. I didn't want to have a marriage like that. To be transparent, so what I did is I was big into sitcoms, yo. Like I really love Living Single. I really love Martin. I'm talking about all of it. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? I love Lucy. I'm talking about, The Nanny. I just like those sitcoms. It was like it portrayed what perfection could look like. It portrayed what like a perfect marriage could look like. And I said, I want one of those. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of thing I aspired for. And, it ain't like that in real life exactly, bro. But, I mean, it gave me something to aspire for. You know what I mean? When I met my wife, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never knew love like that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? We laughed together. We cried together. This is my best friend. You know what I'm saying? And I just was telling Tracy, like, if we had a camera around us, we'll be a sitcom. You know what I'm saying? Just watching us and our interaction. So I wrote a song from that perspective. You know what I'm saying? I love is a sitcom. You know what I'm saying? Just to, give a kingdom marriage perspective. There's so many songs about everything else, but they don't be about this. So I just felt inspired to just write that about my girl. So my wife definitely inspired.
I take it she's the one in the video.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, the chemistry was too. That was not a scene. That was sitcom love right there. That was sitcom love. So let's get into you, Suave Coleon. Who is Suave Coleon? Where you from? Like, let the people and the viewers know a little bit about you, my brother.
Man, my pleasure. So, Suave Coleon, you know what I'm saying? I'm a gospel, kingdom, marriage, good music artist. You know what I'm saying? That's just my philosophy. I'm a guy that's been doing music. I've been in hip hop my whole life, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm real hip hop. Like I've been following this stuff since I was a kid. My brother is like 12 years older than me. So like I've been following hip hop since almost its conception. And I fell in love with it. I've been freestyling something since a child. And since then, life changed. I did secular music for a very long time and my life changed and I started doing, music that was, that was about God. You know what I'm saying? Really about giving a different perspective, a possibility. And from there, man, I've dropped 3 albums so far. Man, I've been overseas. I've been to London. I've done a lot of things, man, just really going after this thing with the perspective of just trusting God, you know what I'm saying? And presenting something I didn't feel like existed before, but you know what I mean? Like,
respect that.
Personally, my perception of Christian hip hop music before I knew about a lot of guys, I didn't feel like it looked like me. It didn't feel like it reflected what I did. I didn't feel like it necessarily reflected regular people. I was a regular hip hop guy, so when my life changed, that's one of the things I just stopped, man. I didn't think I would be able to continue to do it because my perspective of what this looked like was so different. But lo and behold, you know what I'm saying? He allowed me to continue.
How did you get the name?
So, all right, so.
Yeah, I know there's a story.
Sure, I gotta be with a name like this. So I've been doing, like I said, hip hop a long time. My big brother actually gave me that name, man, Carl. So like, I was like in middle school. And I always was known for the way I speak to the women. You know what I'm saying? That's where the Suave came from. I used to always try to take his girlfriend. In my mind, I just want to get my rap game right. And if they had sisters that was my age, it was always I'm gonna get the number. They gonna, all that jazz. So that's what I was known for. And when it came to Calione, from hip hop. See, it was a point in time where a lot of cats they like it was like a mafia persona.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Skill set. And so like where I'm from Savannah, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Cats don't really rap like me. And I just kind of stood out to a lot of folks. And they was like, you Calione, you Don Calione, like just being funny. And it was like, so I put the two together. I'm Suave Calione. And it just stuck with me. And the name that stuck with me since I was like in 7th grade, man. So like I had that name a real long time, long time.
I respect it. Now, you said something very instrumental in when you were just talking about yourself. You said there was a change.
Right.
So I take it that the Suave Calione that we have now is not the Suave Calione you had when you first was introduced.
Absolutely.
Music. And tell us a little about that transition and bring that change.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, I've been doing secular music a long time. You know what I'm saying? I was always a barsmith, but transparently, I was a guy that was afraid of people to hear it. You know what I mean? Like if you're in my circle, if you're in high school, we on the tables. When I started recording music, you hear it if you know, but I was afraid of public perception. Music where I'm from, it sounded a lot different. And almost like Erykah Badu, instead of an artist, I'm sensitive about mine, and I guess that's kind of my excuse that I hid with. And so it was a long time for that, you know what I mean? And honestly, I lived the life where, I said it earlier, that didn't really change from being a child. I thought I needed a million women. That was my thing. I always knew how to speak to them, and it was a vice for me to handle my business in my mind. Drinking also was one of those things I did at a heavy level, especially when I'm in certain environments, because I wanted to be able to blend. I wanted to be able to be, in the comfort of a cool. And just a lot of things that necessarily weren't in line of who I really was, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't really have anything else to really match it to. So I met my wife. I really, really, really found a relationship with God I never had before through her. Now, I'm not saying I didn't know who God was. I'm not even saying I wasn't in church. What I'm saying is I didn't understand relationship.
Your relationship with God, right?
Exactly.
Your relationship,
so
yes.
When I got that, the first thing I knew I had to stop doing was hip hop, because I just figured I can't do this and serve God. It just didn't sound right to me. It didn't feel right to me. And I go to this church called Harvest Tabernacle. It's in the Atlanta area. Shout out my apostle Travis Jennings. I was in this church service, man. I remember it like yesterday. Sorry for it being a little long-winded, but it's the only way.
No. My brother.
I was in this. Okay.
This is a conversation. And we invited people to it. So we chopping it up, man, and we want to know who you are, and this is part of it.
Hey, well, let's talk then. So listen, I'm in this event. Honestly, some church members that asked me to do rap because they heard I did it, but I had stops, you know what I mean? And I definitely, the type of music I did, I didn't feel I could do that in the church. I ended up doing this verse I wrote when I was in high school, man, called Far From Perfection. That was the only thing I could find that didn't have anything that would link me to another life, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I did it. And the perception was crazy in the church, but more than the perception of people. I remember like yesterday, man, my apostle was talking to me, but it's like I didn't hear him no more. You know what I'm saying? It's like he was talking, but it was like it was just a silence. And I heard God like, man, you talking right now, y'all. And what he told me was, not only will you continue to rap, but you will do it for me. You will do it for me, man. You know what I'm saying? And man, that type of zeal is hard to explain, because like I told you, I was being very transparent and very truthful for that in terms of my fear about people perception. It dropped off me right then, man. I didn't care what anybody else thought. What I felt 100% was a means of a necessity to get this everywhere. And right then, man, I wrote that first track that was ever released as a Christian track at all, which is Good News. And God bless that track, man. It's been heard all over the world. It's constantly heard all over the world. And that's really what it is, man. It changed.
Good news.
So when I say
it was good news,
bro. To be transparent, I had this happiness about the understanding that I can't explain to you any other way besides it's like my eyes was open as if they was closed all this time. And I didn't know they was. And I could see myself for who I was for real. And I could see his mercies for what they are for real. You know what I mean? A lot of things I've did, a lot of places I've been, You know, I shouldn't have been there. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, it could have been a different situation because of where I was. And even though I was all these things, he picked me to be a vessel of his music and be a vessel of his ministry and his sword. And it was a good news scenario to me, man. You know, so
I love
that's where that birthed from. You know what I mean? That's where it birthed from.
In your transition, and I know in the beginning you said you wanted to, you couldn't serve too, you couldn't do hip hop, and that's how you felt at that moment.
Yeah.
How were the people around you taking to this transition? Because I know a lot of people probably knew you for the type of music you did, and then now you also have the people that see your faith in God strengthening. That's two different worlds and they clash. How did you feel in that situation?
So this is so crazy. I thought what was going to happen, I was going to do this type of music and everybody that would follow what I do now would be a whole different audience. It'd be these brand new people that all of a sudden they see this cat and they rocking with them. These people that don't know me, because obviously these people wouldn't be able to receive it from that vessel. And my biggest support out of the gate was the people that have been rocking with me all this time. Like literally, because when I was in college, man, I was in this joint called Frontline. That's what we called ourselves. And a good friend of mine, this guy named Daniel, who he did all my production in the beginning. And I remember like yesterday, because it blew my mind, I didn't expect him to say that. And he called me, was almost in tears. And he was like, Si, you don't understand how proud of you I am. This is it. This is what you're made to do. You know what I mean? And shoot, all the cats that went to high school with me, man. I was, you know, you do the yearbooks and folks write about what they expect you to be. Yeah. They knew I was going to be some type of big hip hop guy. Like they just knew it.
They wrote it in. They wrote it in.
Hey, it was in the words. They already is in the, you know what I'm saying?
It was written.
Bro, they was gravitating toward it like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe this. It's so incredible. Because the thing that was dope for them, their perception of what they thought Christian hip hop was corny. They thought it was something that was going to sound like every word is a scripture. They thought everything about it was going to look like a person's talking at you, is a person speaking from the crowd with you. You know what I mean? And my music wasn't like that. So when God changed that, my life, my pen, it's still my pen. You know what I'm saying? It's just my life was changing. So my perception, my inspirations are not the same. So the bars were still there. The beat selections were still there. And they loved it, man. They loved it, man. They really supported me strong, man. And that's my base started. And from there, you know, it started going crazy. So yeah,
that is
the other thing.
So dope. Go ahead.
You said two things. You said another place was the people in the church. How would they receive you?
How did they?
They loved it too.
You can't argue if you're in the right path. Like, you know, sometimes you can't argue it. You can't argue it. You know, it's all coming. How do you feel your place? Like you found your place with your faith, and you found your place with your music, and you're genuine to both. You genuine to yourself and your relationship with God.
Yeah.
How do you feel that place is in hip hop right now? Like with hip hop, how do you feel about your place in hip hop?
I feel I'm creating something that didn't exist. You know what I mean? I really feel like you know, he gave me this word a couple of years ago, and it stuck to me, which is pioneer. You know, what happened was when I went to London completely off for inspiration of God. You know, I didn't tell you that part. See, I didn't get like a regular invitation. I got a divine invitation. And like he literally gave me a revelation. You know what I'm saying? He gave me imagery. He gave me the people to speak to. He gave me the whole nine. Like I literally wrote it down as he gave it to me. And I went to this place I'd never been before, and I was received like I was always supposed to be there. And one of the things that my host that I had doing the event for me said, just rocking, you know, anybody's in the vibe, just bop. And I came on last, and what he was like was the pioneer, this pioneer. And it's like it echoed in my ear. Pioneer is a person that's never, like it's you occupying a territory that never existed before.
You set it off.
Exactly. And that's who I feel I am. I mean, I'm playing on secular music as well, on secular stations every day. You know what I mean? That music is received regardless if you listen to no gospel or if you only listen to gospel. You know what I'm saying? And it's allowing another lane to be created where people can be authentically themselves. You see what I'm saying? I don't knock anybody. Whoever you are in bars, I'm a hip hop guy.
Yeah.
But I do not being yourself. I do not glorifying something for the sake of glorifying something. If you're speaking about something because this is your past, because this is your life. This is where your expression is leading you. That's one thing. I respect it. It's another thing if you only create something in order to get a response that you hope is this because I say this. I can't respect that.
I can't respect that. And that's the true artist in you. You know, that's the true artist. Now, you humbly said you went to London and all that, and you was inspired, and you snuck that in real nice and light, my brother. I want to share something. I want to share something with you, right? When a person receives that invite to a higher plane in their spirituality, right? Because it's an invite. It's an invite. You see, something sparks it, and no matter what realm or how it looks, you begin a certain pillage. You have to go through a certain path. And did you feel London was that for you? Was that like your pillage to jumpstart everything for you?
Man, listen, 100% was that. It was like that obedience, and God opened the door I would never been able to open for myself, but like 100. I did that particular thing, and the things that followed it was so crazy, it was mind-blowing. So I do that. Sitcom Love ended up getting the Grammy consideration, the first one I ever had. Now you're talking about a guy that's completely independent artist. My label, Real Music, you see it on the joint. Real Music is myself and my wife. I don't have anything else. I don't have any major financial backing, none of that stuff. It's me. But what he ended up doing is relationships started forming, and this person told this person and this person. And before I knew it, just that confidence I had in every room, it changed, man. Well, it didn't matter who was in front of me. I spoke with the same confidence I had if I'm just talking to my bride, if I'm just talking to my homies. You know what I'm saying? I stood on what I believed in so much, it made people believers. And that's the type of confidence I never experienced at that level. And it was infectious, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of doors continue to open. I got these invites all over the country after that. I got invited in Buffalo. I got invited in Tennessee. I'm in Nashville. I'm in Texas. You know, I got invited in Los Angeles. I got invites in Florida. I'm back in Savannah. You know what I'm saying? I got things cooking in Africa. Like these things started happening after the door was open. So when you say that, brother, you spot on. You know what I'm saying? I think you know exactly what you mean. It's a catalyst move. Sometimes you make these moves by that obedient state, by being pushed to that level of faith. It unlocks something else in you. You know what I mean? And from that, I truly felt he rewarded that obedience. And it took me somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And,
it surely will. So you snuck in another thing. I'm listening with graved ears, right? You snuck in. You said, yeah, you know, Sitcom Love. I got my first Grammy nomination. There's not a lot of people who can say they get the Grammy nod. Let's talk about Sitcom and the Grammy nod. What happened, how it happened, how it was introduced to you. Let a few people understand how that felt and even the process of.
Bro.
I hear it, bro. I feel it.
So I did this radio invite. Shout out to Baxter's. My brother Juan and Kayla. His wife, they did excellent people. So they were some mentors I ended up finding again, just being obedient. Man. I've been following their movement for a while. And I like something else, just telling the truth. So boom. We started this friendship almost like family. And so out of the blue one day, it was like, what's up? I got an interview for you, man, but can you be free like tomorrow? So I said, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Of course I'll be free tomorrow. If it's for you guys, I'm with it. They got me on this platform. I met with this guy, and it was an incredible interview. And he really, really, really liked the song. And what he did is he shared it with some people that was influential. You know what I mean? This is a thing that we say in my church that I got it. You know, my apostle said before. And I you know, some things you hear, you don't know if all this stuff gonna apply to you. You dig? And one thing he was like, you know, God will put your name in the wind. And so this guy ended up putting my name in a position, in a place that no other person on there is independent like me, man. No other person in there didn't have any crazy backing, and they're not paying this person or this person. And I ended up getting it. They ended up really liking it, and ended up keep pushing to a place that it was official consideration. And man, I remember telling my wife, man, and we were just in tears together because see, I prayed for this. You know what I mean? I prayed for this way before it was in London. I prayed for this way before it was all these other things that happened, man. I prayed for it. I prayed that God would give me an opportunity to get on this stage and really be able to give him glory on the space that they not seeing them like they supposed to. The other thing that was interesting, and it wasn't for gospel anything, I was nominated for Rap Song of the Year. That's what it came up for. Now, as a consideration, you know how that goes for it. It didn't get to TV, but what it got was more than far than anybody I ever seen. And it gave me this skill of possibilities that really, really pushed me and propelled me to continue to move. It's like the major confirmation that you really, really, really doing what you're supposed to do. You're a Metron. You know what I mean? That's your thing that's made for you.
That's made for you. And when it's made for you, no one could take that.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? No one could take that. No one could take that. You know, with everything, it shows that you have this true sense of freedom of who you are, and in your belief in everything you do. I would like to line up right now your visual for free. I think this is a perfect time to take a look into that and go into this record free. Everything that you're saying shows, you know, the truth in that, and you know, with a truth comes a certain level of freedom. So I think this would be a great time to line that up, and then we're gonna go once we do that, we're gonna go a little bit more, because I do know you got 2 Grammy considerations. There's 2. I'm not gonna let you get away with that. It's 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? But there's 2 of those, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about real music, and I want to hear a little bit about that, and we're gonna dive into that and go from there. So we're gonna set up free right now, and then after free set up and we take off, we're gonna go from there. But before we even go into free, right before we go into free, just to keep it together, let's talk about that second nom, that Grammy nomination, that consideration. Let's talk about that real quick. I think that's the alley-oop. We gotta finish that one off.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and try to take it down off the alley-oop pass. So what ended up happening, man, part of one of those relationships I was unlocked when I went to London was the DJ I had doing the event for me is this young lady named DJ Sean. And in London, she's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? She really get busy. We ended up building a family situation, man. I look at her like a sister. And so when I was in London, we was like, you know, let's get in the studio while I'm here. Let's bounce off with some of the other artists. And we started recording some music while I was there. And we just kept chopping it up. She knows a lot of producers. One producer ended up being this guy named KD Summers, good friend of mine now. He's from from South Africa. He's from Cape Town. My man never been in the States or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we started building. Like we was in the same spot, but I never even met him in person. And so give me this beat. We got this concept. Time I heard it, first thing that came to my mind was "Welcome to the League of the Unlikely." You know what I'm saying? So it put me in this extraordinary spot. And I went in. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, KD, I think it'd be ill if you was on it with me, man, because I heard him on some other records. And so we came with this chorus together. And I was like, man, I need you in the last verse. I need you to finish it out with me. And he did it. And from there, you know, we created something and was like, this is the one. This is the one. Let's put this out there. And it's very, very well received. You know how I was telling you earlier, God gave me a word of the year that was Pioneer that year. Pioneer. But the very next year, the word he gave me happened to be Extraordinary.
Look at that. And he rhymed. The orchestra, the great orchestra rhyming. That's how it go.
You know what I mean? That's how it ended up playing out. And it was just the word would mean, you know, a motivation for the people, man. Something to really lock them in what your possibilities can be for the year. You know, you're extraordinary in God. You're bigger than you think you are. And man, again, naming the win, brother. You know what I'm saying? I went on that same platform again with my brother. At this time now we building. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just a radio interview personality. We build all the time. You know, I've been on this station several times after that time, and loved it. I introduced the record to him. He loved it again. You know, he really, really loved it again.
Really.
So again, he made some calls on my behalf. Some other people also made some calls on my behalf, and before I knew it, I was in these groups with people I never met before that was on the voting and all these different things. They just wanted to check out the record all over the world and these different things, and it was very well received, man. And, I love that. And you have it, number 2, and it's back to back, man. The next year, consideration again.
And you got a lot more to go. Let's jump into this song right now. Let's go into Free.
Let's go.
Let the people let the people hear that. Let's go into Free right now, and we're gonna come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta clap for us. Let's go.
Free.
Nothing like being.
Talking about that word, you know
Like
what
being
I mean?
free, y'all.
Revelation.
Hey, that's one of the clearest things, you know what I mean? Them confines is
What a
all.
feeling to be released from the confines of false obligations, and they say it's interrogations. John 1 and 3, trying to faith, work of patience, freedom from the confines of situations, grace to experience joy, real joy that's not obstructed or compromised. Biblical authenticity before the retail of enterprise. Free the bombers exploration, like a starship enterprise. So we'll sell everything they own with no limits to ethics for the bitches to monetize. This is celebration of freedom, even from the bloodline curses, sins of our fathers and our mothers' lies. We could be burned, broken and traumatized, victims of the statistics media advertised. But thank God I'm free, yeah. Thank God that I'm free, yeah. Thank God I'm free. Was confined, but now I'm free. I'm bound because I'm free. I'm just grateful that I'm free. My life is now free. Yo, it's nothing like being free. Thank God I'm free. Was bound, but now I'm free. Free. That's 6 days, brother. Free. Thank God I'm free. 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 Yeah. Thank God that I'm free. Yeah. Don't wanna know your name and you're not know mine. Word to Kalante Gavin. Synonymous with the ring like the championship rings. Word to John Madden. These days beyond the wildest dreams one may imagine. These days blessings presented in a high fashion. Honestly feel the world's at the ask. And specifically arts and entertainment mountains of influence. Could have countless DUIs. When I was under the influence of controlled substance, to now deliver a sound with a controlled substance. Gotta celebrate our freedom. We emerged from the ruins with the stacked odds, with nothing given. Small and summer to me is gigantic. Thus I'm off the boat to walk the water like the Pacific or Atlantic.
Thank God that I'm free.
Yeah, that was free. That was free. And one thing I could tell you listening to that, first of all, I want to shout out to everybody that's tuning in. You're getting a lot of love. I'm not even getting to see all the chat, but I'm hearing some people saying that's their favorite. Some people saying they tapping it from all the way from like Texas. So you're getting a lot of love. Your music, and I know earlier on you said, you know, I know you do like I don't want to say gospel music or Christian or music. I want you do hip hop. You do hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You do hip hop. You do hip. Your core of your passion of your music is in your truth. Is free birth after everything? Is this after, like, when was free constructed?
Yeah, so free is on my third album. So
Okay.
At this point, man, you know how sometimes you hear a beat and you know it's supposed to be the last one. Like, you know it's supposed to be the last song on a project. Like I recorded that track probably as the third track on the album, like the third thing I recorded for the album, but I knew it was the last thing that needed to be played. Basically, at this point, I already had seen God show off, man, when I did Peculiar People. That's my first album. I never had an expectation for that to do what it did, and it did. It blew my mind. After that, you know, my second album was called It Takes a Village. And that particular project, it was got me over to London. That's what had these people playing the videos and stuff like that all the way over there, showing love there. And so by this time, You know, my third album is called The Revelation. And truly what God did is he gave me a revelation. Like you said, this is what I was telling you. This is at the same time that he's telling me you're going to go to London. He's telling me you're going to do it like this, that, and the third. And I never thought this right type of thing would happen for me. You know, not like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're already showing out, God. I didn't expect you to give me, you know, a mandate at that scale, but he did. And it unlocked something, man. The whole project is about the place that I was at that point, man. It was a different level of freedom. And I wanted to show people that was a possibility. You see, we all got these shackles, whether we're aware of them or not. You know, people having these adolescent mindsets. That's not just something that's said biblically. It's period. People have an adolescent mindset sometimes. It has nothing to do about your age. It's a maturity that you have, that life only could give you. Experiences only could give you. And I got to the place where it didn't matter what anybody else said. It didn't matter what anybody else thought. I didn't have shackles on me, on my legs, on my mind. And I felt like I really was in a go time mode. And that really what it's about now is unlocking everybody else I could. You know, in the scripture that it's talking about Paul and Silas, what was so ill about that whole thing was when they in prison, they locked down. They get to praying and singing. And the thing that people kind of don't pay attention to as much is not only did all the doors open in the jails, the shackles got released too. You know what I mean? Like, that's a different thing. Sometimes people stop at the doors. The shackles got released too on everybody there. So these people that have been in a place of confinement, everybody had this freedom now. You know what I'm saying? And that's truly what I believe that this music is doing. It's going to get the people in the club. It's going to get the people on the block. It's going to get everybody. Because see, part of the reason what perpetuates certain things is because you don't feel it's out. You don't feel it's way to do it. You know what I mean? Like truthful people say, come as you are all the time, but not everybody showcases what that look like. They don't show that in their love regardless of who you are. They don't show that when they don't look down on you. They don't show that when they don't judge you regardless of your state. You see, the thing about God, he's not asking you to clean first, then come. That's not what he ever said. He said, come as you are. Meaning that's the needle in your arm. Come with the needle in your arm. If it's with the piece still on you because you still got packs to get off, it still comes just the way you are. And I really understood that's who I was called to. I was called to the people who didn't have anybody else to tell them that it's a possibility still. Like you still can have this freedom that's uncanny, that's not tailored to anybody else, but it's a freedom that God allows. And that's what it's truly about. It's free. And that's true that I felt, but it wasn't about me. It was about letting everybody else know that you could be free as well. You know what I mean? So that was true the mindset.
With everything you're saying, it's true to heart and it's real. It's real and it makes sense. I know you said real music is that's your thing. Real music. Talk about the birth of real music and let's talk about real music and what that is and what it means and how does that play a part in your music now?
So let me tell you something that's crazy. The same way I told you my name was SUAVE COLIONE way before I came to the world that I'm in now. Real music was already a brand that I already had created before I ever got to this world. But it was a brand that was, of course, that was associated for other things. It was just about being authentic. You know what I'm saying? It was about having ability to spit bars that felt like movies, reels. You know what I mean? That's what initially. I kicked it. My second album I ever did is a Secular Oz, which is called Real Music. That was the name of the project that I made while I was still in college. So ironically, when I got to, I just never stopped the brand. When I was working on my master's in business, I used that same brand for every one of my thesis papers that I wrote. Every single one of them. It just stuck to me. And I didn't have anything to have this to. I had never sold a record. I never did anything under that. It still meant something to me. My life changes and God really defines to me what this thing is. And what it is a place of authenticity. You're creating a world where people could come as they are. You're creating a world that doesn't require makeups and masks. It doesn't require you to put on a face before you show up in the room. You come as you are. You speak as you are. And you just believe that you are in God. You know what I'm saying? You're a new creature. Yeah. That's why it don't come with, okay, I'm a new creature, so no, it ain't like that. When it's real, you change. It's just authentically changed. And that's really what I stand on. I believe it's the word, it's just a billboard for God, man. You know what I'm saying? It's about a boldness in him. To just regardless of where you at, you're authentic. You're 100% you. And that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? And what ended up happening, the brand, also when I knew I wanted to be independent. You know what I'm saying? I knew that was what I didn't want to have a restriction. But what I did and doing it my way. And so I said, I'm going to keep my label. You know what I'm saying? And God, I thought I was going to change the name again. God said, no, keep that.
Gotcha. It's real. It's real. It's real.
Yeah,
You know, it meant this that, but who you are now, it means this
yeah,
in the sense of your true realness. Under
yeah,
your label, your brand, are you solely just focusing on you as an artist, or you're taking other artists or
yeah,
willing to
yeah,
even groom artists? Like what's the basis of
absolutely.
real music? So
So real
you're
music, yeah, I am. It's a label. So right now, on the label is of course myself. It's a
okay.
good friend of mine. We've been friends since fifth grade. He's a singer. His name is Alex George.
Okay.
It's another one, hip hop artist. Actually, me and him was in a group together when we was in high school called the Young Stars. And both our lives changed in God. And be transparent, his changed way before I did. I was still out there.
Okay.
His Shane, he's one of my artists. As well as a friend of mine. We collaborate a lot. As a cousin, but he's really a brother to me. This guy named Ben Forgiven. He's also part of the brand. Outside of the label, I have a clothing line. God gave me that in 2020. Was when I started doing it. It started off with t-shirts, and now it's t-shirts, hoodies, Letterman jackets, crew sweaters. We do a few
Gotcha.
things. And it's also a
The
movie company,
expansion.
promotion company as well. Yeah, like he was giving them to me, man, like teaspooning you, boy. Like
You was earning it. You was earning it. Your
hey, I was
transition, your journey, you was earning these.
I
You
received
was
that.
earning. So you have a roster of artists.
Yeah.
This is not, you have a roster. What's in the works for real music, yourself, and the expansion? Is the forever the expansion. So what's in the works for that?
Absolutely. So we do promotion as well. I have a tour. Again, I was kicked off in London. It's called Indie Major Tour.
Mm,
Indie Major on my joint right here somewhere. Yeah. So
okay.
that's my tour in Indie Major, independent, by definition, but major in God. That's our philosophy. And kicked off in London. We've been in Nashville twice. We've been in Atlanta once. We're looking to set it up for this year as well. I'm working on some things in South Africa, God willing, to get it over there. Me and KD working on some stuff there, and I'm looking to bring it back, hopefully back to London soon as well. And I
Love
just open to continue to grow it. It's a very organic, different type of environment. It's dope, man. I always have, God always give me a crazy lineup. Always put me with an ill DJ. I'm real big on the spirit of excellence. So it's gonna be dope sound. It's gonna be good graphics. It's gonna be things that really draw people properly. I've made 2 movies also. Both of the movies was based off the tours. So
Okay.
just being active.
So
So coming forward,
behind the scene footage of it and showing how the tour is, like what's the movies and what's the names?
the mix.
You gotta let the people know so they
Yeah.
can check it, man. Plug it,
No
plug
problem,
it,
no
man.
problem. Yeah.
Stop it,
So,
man.
it's simply called Indie Major. London was the first one, and it's just kind of documenting the London experience. It's going through. You get a chance to see the tour like you're there, like you're in the audience. You know what I'm saying? We got some different views, very good clarity and things of that nature, just so you can experience it like you're there. So we did that. Another place that the biggest place the tour has been so far has been Atlanta, which is where I'm from. At my church, I did one there as well. That's called Indie Major Atlanta. Honestly, that's my heart. It's just a different level. I have been doing it for a while, and the confidence and everything is different. And honestly, the ministry was at its height at that particular environment. So it was really, really dope. In terms of what next for the label, we're looking to release a project soon. I'm looking to do it before the second quarter of this year. It's called Global, and it's a compilation. So it has all those artists that I was telling you about featured on the project as well with me, as well as some good friends I made across the globe now. You know what I'm saying? So I got some friends in there. I got some friends in there from all over Europe, some different folks around the States that's ill. And we're looking to put that out as well. And that's where that Extraordinary came from. That was the lead single. The second single off of that was called Just a Little Talk with Jesus.
Gotcha. I like that. So I see the activity. You're most definitely active. We watched your video. We heard your song. I know performance is a thing. Could you talk about a little bit of your experience with the back to school concert that took place? Like, could you talk about that a little bit and how important performance? Yeah, I'm pulling them out, brother. I'm pulling it out.
I appreciate the research. Yo, so man, we building some things in Nashville that's very, very cool. One of my good friends, this guy named 6'5", he's from Nashville. And his church allowed us to bring the indie major there, and we partnered with their back to school program and made it like ours. And what we did is we had this roster of crazy people on there, and it's an opportunity for ministry. Like, to me, it's a big deal to speak to youth before you at a contaminated space. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I've been there. I know what that's
Yes.
like. I know what it's like to be 12 and 13, and it's a transition in your life that you're not gonna get back.
Mhm.
You know, you're gonna be different from this 13 times. So you really come to yourself as an adult. That sometimes don't happen till you're 30. You're gonna be looking for something else a lot of times. You're gonna be, it's this mentality about being accepted. It starts there, and it kind of goes for a long time. My thing that I really like to do is very important to me. It's important to me, and my ministry is important any place I go. Is that the youth have a person that speaks to them where they at too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I take it very serious to just be an encouraging voice in your ear, to just give you highlights of who you are. And sometimes you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Just, say king, say queen. You know what I'm saying? Let you know I'm very proud of what you're doing. I'm not your father. I'm not your uncle or anything. I'm just a person that believes in you. And that means something, that it's not coming from a source that's already existed. And they looking at me, you the guy that raps. You the guy that, got the CDs. You the guy that's bop, bop, bop. You see me? Get out of here. You the biggest thing in the room. You know what I'm saying? You're the most important person in here. You know what I mean? And just speaking that life is important. So we've done it 2 years. The second year was significantly deeper than the first year, almost double the size, man. Just really putting the word out.
That's that expansion. That's the expansion.
Yes, but you know what I mean? Man, with the views, but it's definitely true, man. I honestly didn't think about it like that. I just be moving, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's important to be there and be present and take it serious. Like you said, the performance part is ill. I want to show you what an MC look like. I want to show you that a cat can be ill lyrically, a guy can be very fresh, a guy can have a very cool persona, because that's who I am. But all those things are secondary to the fact I love God. All these things are secondary to the fact I'm 100%, you know what I'm saying, about this movement and understanding. And I wanted you to show that it's a duality. These things can exist. It doesn't have to be, I could be, if I'm cool, I gotta be this. Or if I'm that, I gotta be that. You could be yourself, whoever that is. But be confident in who that is important. That's how you handle the monsters that's gonna come at you later in life. When you confidently can tell that devil or whatever it is, I see you. And I see you. And I'm not sure. My presence is not going to be broken because you're in the room with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna stand and be confident in who I am. There's a track I got also on the album called Still Standing. And it's definitely around that mindset, man. Life gonna come. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come like a typhoon sometimes, yo. You don't get a lot of warning. It just comes in. The fact to still stand is something somebody has to tell you, because you don't know that. You know what I mean? You only see the results, but we just see the look at those Grammys behind you. We see how lucky fly he is. We can see the way he carries himself. Nobody knows the story behind it.
The story.
They don't know who you at. They don't know what makes you who you are today. They don't know what's behind the code, what's behind this level of confidence. I seen life and I had resilience.
I love it. I love it.
That's just my mind.
You are noticed. I mean, even to get your nominations for a Grammy, your energy and presence. I also know that the Gospel Choice Music Awards had honoring those who inspire us. How was to be acknowledged? Because it's easy to get acknowledged in music outside of your beliefs. Right. How was it to be nominated from the spiritual side of things? Talk about that a little bit. We're gonna touch a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna touch a little bit of everything.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey man, it was incredible. It was really, really, really dope to get dressed up and go in this award show. You know what I'm saying? And mainly their presence and their thought process a lot of times was about gospel people that have been doing this for a long time. And to be in a place where the music God has given me is starting to puncture walls. That's what it represented. Because I know I don't sound like Shirley Caesar. You know what I'm saying? I know saying I don't sound like this, that, and the third. And I love these people. But it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, you assume those people is what you think about when you think about gospel. These people is what you're thinking about when you're talking about church acceptance. And to be in a place where I wasn't nominated one time, I was nominated like 5 different times, man, for different things in this place. Where they didn't just give me awards that was based off hip hop. They gave me awards that was based off of best song of the year. They gave me opportunity that was based off just the impact of music and a movement and inspiration, and that
Yes.
means something. That lets you know, your ministry, even though it's being accepted in outside the four walls, is also being accepted in the four walls. Because honestly, that's a whole nother conversation spot. Because a lot of people that gotta get touched also it's a group of people who straddling the fence, and that's a dangerous place. And to be honest with you, that's a lot scarier than all the way being outside.
Yeah,
Or all the way being in the church. That's a scary place. You hiding. You can hide and end up in a place you don't want to be when it's all said and done, because you
and it could tear you in half. It could tear you in half. It could tear you in half.
Come on.
Like just to cap on it, they said honoring those who inspire us. So that it tells you that, you know, regardless of what we want to categorize it, what titles we want to give it, it's the inspiration behind it, and you carry that. With all this, and you know, we are still human. You know, we still human. What are some of the hardships that you face, even in your music or your spirituality, and how do you overcome that? Because there's probably a lot of people that's on here who are on the fence, or deep in the church and in conflict, or they deep in the field and have conflict. So, you know, what's some of that, and how you overcome?
Man, look, one thing about it, being authentic all the time is important. That's the key. I don't put a facade on. You know what I'm saying? I like to say a lot about where I came from. I like to also give you perspectives of what it looked like now. You know what I'm saying? I wrote songs like Frustrated Heart. Frustrated Heart wasn't talking about before I got to the church. It was talking about after I got there. You have conflicts in yourself every day. And it's different when you know what wrong looked like. It's different when you expect certain things to happen because of a relationship, but it's still hardships. It's still a situation where sometimes, even though I have a good job, man, sometimes I got to wait on this check to make sure I do this or do that. Things can happen that throws off your finances. Things happen where people are dying that you expected because you prayed that they will all of a sudden come up out of that. That's hard, man. That's hard to get on a situation and do that. And it doesn't respond like you think it happened, because the reality of things is you could be a baby in Christ too. I'm big on journey. You got to think about this, man. Good News comes out 2019. It's 2024. I'm maturing fast in God, trust me. But life happened in the whole way. And anytime anybody's doing anything, you have such a gung-ho mindset, you expect things to happen automatic like you ready would be. Because you don't understand the precepts upon precept scenario yet. So when you read about sight coming to the blind, you think, well, just I believe it, then I can make it happen. There's other things behind that, yo.
Behind that.
You know, there's things that become that. Your faith level has to be really serious with that. And also on top of all these things, it's still his will, because it's the destiny that's required, whether you understand this or not. You know, I'm gonna tell you right now, when you ask that question, I'm gonna give you a very real situation. We got listeners. I'm a situation where, man, me and my wife was blessed with twins after trying to have kids for 6 years straight. We stood on faith. Everybody said it wasn't gonna happen. When a lot of people was having doubt in their eyes, when a lot of people was like, yo, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We believed it it was hard. I still believe. You know what I'm saying? When that faith was built off of tears, man, off of frustrations, after feeling like sometimes this is supposed to be the day and it's not. You know what I'm saying? That's a real thing to having these girls. And you know, I'm gonna be transparent, man. I had the roughest time of my life last year. I lost both of them. We lost both of our daughters. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about frustrations, when you're talking about what life looks like, see, part of what our responsibility is the resilience piece. It's a ministry in my life. It's a testimony in my being. It's a testimony in surviving. Because you need to know that too. Because life is going to happen. And if the only thing you know is good news, how would you handle it when it's not good news? You know what I mean? How do you handle it when it's not joy at that moment? You know what I'm saying? Because even in that Frustrated Heart song, I'm giving you the fuel to get you pushed, because joy will come in the morning, but you got to live to get there. You got to have enough faith that you hold on, even when everything appears to be broken. You know what I'm saying? As you walk through the shadows, that's not death, but it looked like it. Think about that statement. As I walk through the shadows of death, I mean everything around you is death. Yeah. But it's only an illusion. What do? You know what I mean? So yeah, like, it's important. That part is who I am. That part is a lot of what that real means. I stand on the whole thing because I want to give you the joy in this totality and not only at the end. Not just when you see in the applause. I want you to see when it's hard too, because that's where the story makes sense from. And if I only told you that it's always going to be joy outside, then I'd be lying to you, because he never told you that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's true.
That's how I feel about that. You know what I'm saying? And I like that you asked me that. I like that I got a chance to say that in this arena. Because yeah, it's real. This is the part that's cut out sometimes.
Yes.
This is why it's a disconnect between a lot of times between people coming to church in their own and not understanding what's possible, because some people are going to live in the facade. They don't know a difference, because some of the people in there that you're thinking is Reverend Do Right, our deacon Do Right. You know what I'm saying? You don't know their life in the God the door. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And it requires people to be authentic. I love my church for that reason. It's a lot of, I didn't see real like that till I got there. Where you get the good, bad, and indifference, and it's still God. You know what I mean? So that's
I woke up today and I put on "Bad Times Make a Good Man." That's what my show says. Man. Bad times make a good man. And you said something that's real. You said, you know, we got to learn how to the survival after. Everything is not going to be joyful. With that saying, I want to set up Broken Heart.
Okay.
And let the people see the hear the song. We're gonna go into that, and then after we come back, we're gonna have you share where people could get you, and we're gonna go into that. So we're gonna set up Broken Heart, and we're gonna go from there, because like you said, it's not always all joyful, but it's what you do with it after. There is a message, there is a meaning, there is a lesson in every single thing, and sometimes those be it. So let's go into Broken Heart, and we're going to continue on and wrap it up, my brother.
Most deaf, but most deaf.
SUAVE COLIONE. Yeah. You know, convinced to take a village. Yeah. It's real music. Yeah. Had me going in circles like 285. On track, tainted mission like Ryan Gosling. And drive late once again, but just appreciative that I arrived. You see, we from American dreams, seems attainable. But yet we still strive, no longer just living life and living, but living for a legacy. Likely is beyond the present tangible that eyes can see. And mine's too, but at the mercy of the broken hearts of yesterday's burdens in the rear view. See, there's a crack and miss a perfect facade. Behind the mask, it's the real you. And in reality, there's a quiet strength for every round that doesn't kill you. And the revelation comes in them broken moments of your solitude. I guess I'm broken. Yeah, but thank God it's not. Thank God it's not. Yeah, you see, I guess yeah. See, probably I'm broken. Yeah, but thank God it's not. Yeah, thank God it's not. Yeah. My Heavenly Father makes whole of the broken things and adds these jet propellers to the broken wings as the Holy Spirit translate the foreign exchange and iniquity shaped man and the holy things we reconstructed just right. It's flight even for us paper planes. We was going in circles like the figure eights until he made a way. Even some friends and family members parted ways. Had them maturing devices. You know the go-tos of party days. Guess I'm broken hearted, but it's temporary. The transition left in yesterday's obituary. Being on the active roster is so different from the spectators' commentary. We were all at the trials of this. I guess I'm broken. Yeah, but thank God it's not. Thank God it's not. Yeah, you see, I guess yeah. See, probably I'm broken. Yeah, but thank God it's not. Yeah, thank God it's not. Yeah.
That was broken hearted. I think that is a perfect way to round about the events of today in the conversation. For the viewers, I know there was a few questions, and I can't see all of them, but I know you were getting a lot of love. How can people find you if they want to reach out to you? If they got questions about real music, let the people
Yeah.
know where they could get in contact with you and how.
Absolutely. All the social media platforms I always love. On Instagram is Suave Calione, all one word together. DM me, holla at me. I'll be glad to answer anything. On Facebook, I'm under the artist page, Suave Calione, first name, last name. I'm real. You definitely always can reach out to me as my regular name too, man. I don't play the Clark Kent and Superman game. My name is Saad Morrell. So for there, you definitely reach out at any point. My email address for the business is realmusicllc@gmail.com, and that's REEL. That's how I spell it in that regard. Reach out to me for the merch. Reach out to me for the music. My music is on all digital platforms, all of them. But I still love, you know what I'm saying, hard CDs. So I definitely do the hard CDs available. I definitely want to get to the point of doing vinyls as well. I'm super hip hop, yeah.
Oh,
So
I love
I
it.
definitely want to get to the point to get to the vinyl situations as an option. But definitely reach out to me, man. I would love to come to your city, man. My thing is, long as my time is possible, man. God bless me with this new job the other day too. So I got a little bit more freedom in terms of flexibility. And I would love to, I kind of come to your city, man. If it's California, let's fly. You know what I'm saying? If it's London again, if it's France, if it's Paris, wherever you want me to go, you know what I'm saying?
Wherever.
Reach out to me. This is truly a global ministry, man. You know what I'm saying? We started local, now we global. You know what I'm saying? That's our little mantra. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely available, man. I believe in being a real person. If it's just a talk, I'm 100% down with that. If it's just an advice, I'm 100% down for that. You know what I'm saying? If it's just for prayer, if it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's truly a ministry behind these bars, yo. It's just not just good rapping. I live this. You know what I mean? So I'll be
it's real. It's real. It is. Before we close the night, I want to send a big super shout out to Miss Jackson Media Group presents on Epic TV Worldwide. I want to send a big shout out to Philosophy Denim for holding it down behind the scenes, taking care of what he got to do. We see you next Monday, my brother. Shout out to him. And I want to close it out with most definitely blessings and pioneering and expansion and all that to you, my brother. You have a good aura, you have good music, and you're on a mission. Keep your mission alive. I know for a fact, outside of just the gospel awards, you inspiring people, you probably inspired a lot of us today. So thank you for that, my brother. Keep doing your thing. And like Philosophy says, because I'm using his line right now, we're going to check back with you in like 5 or something months, see what you got going on, and bring you back on the show. I can't do his. I was gonna do an impression of him, but I don't want to mess it up because he got a. I ain't gonna mess it up for him today. But I'm gonna work on my impression of Philosophy. I know he probably laughing. I was gonna pull it out today. I ain't ready.
Oh, good,
Thank
man.
you.
It's all good.
Thank you, my brother. Have a good night. Thank you for all the viewers from all over who spent the time for us. Thank you so much. It was a blessing, man. And I will be in touch with you as well, my brother. Have a good night and keep blessed, brother. Keep blessed. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.